sexy friends and family. I'm here today because a lot of questions have been asked about the stimulus checks. Some of the questions I may not know the answer to, but the ones that I do know the answer and have an answer to, I'm going to go ahead and share with you now. Um, I'm also going to post a little video of the website that I went and got it from and where I got some of the information from. Okay, so let's start with what it's called. It's a stimulus package. It's called the Economic Impact Payment Information. Okay, and um, millions of people have already gotten their payments, which was the $1,200 plus $500 for children that they have per child, I believe it is. Some people have not gotten their payments. I think the reason why is because they're giving it a couple of weeks. I think it was the last couple of weeks in April that they said people should be getting their payments coming in. Okay. So give it time. Let's see if your payments will come in, and I hope and I pray that they do. But some people are not going to get payments. Okay. Um, the people that aren't going to get payments are people, let's say, for instance, you're on disability. And uh, because you're on disability, your child files you. You're an adult, okay? Let's say you're 50 and you live with your child and your adult child files you on their income taxes each year. If that's the case, you will not get a stimulus check at all, okay? Because someone else files you. Will they get any money for you? No, they will not get any money for you either. You are just not going to get anything, nor is anyone going to get anything for you. Okay? So, sorry to say that, but that's just how it is. Okay? I'm sorry about the lighting, guys. This is the best that I can do. So, let's hope that it works partially anyway. Okay? Now, also, some people mail in their information, and so they have to wait on the mail to come in order to get their check, unless you went online under the irs.gov and you actually went to the stimulus check portion of it. There's a little section in there that asks for information. I think you can put your information in there, and that includes your bank information, and then they can send the check to your bank if you have a bank account. If not, then you just have to wait on the check. Okay. Okay, my friends, who is eligible to receive a check? People who are United States citizens, permanent residents, or qualifying resident aliens. You also cannot be claimed by anyone else on their return. If you are, you won't get a check. You need to have a social security number, okay? And I believe the exception here says if either a spouse is a member of the United Armed Forces at any time during the taxable year, then only one spouse needs to have a valid Social Security number. And then I think they will claim for both people. Though those are the married couples that I believe will receive 2,400. Okay. Have adjusted gross income below an amount based on your filing status and the number of your qualifying children. Okay, so that is who is eligible. Okay, if you didn't file, okay, an income tax return for 2018 or 2019, will you still get a payment? Yes, you can still get one if you are retired or on disability, or you get survivors benefits, veterans benefits. All of those things, you're still eligible for a payment. And again, um, as I said, if you're being filed by somebody else, you will not get a payment. Don't think that you will, because you will not. But other than that, if you're just by yourself and you get a disability payment, then you will still get one. Okay? If you just filed or recently filed and it's gone into the IRS, then yes, you will still get a payment. If you didn't file a tax return for 2018 or 19, okay, it says, do you need to file? I don't believe you need to file. I think what you need to do is to go on the website and put your information in there in order to get a payment, because they need some information on you in order to give it to you. So some people have railroads benefits, survivors benefits, VA benefits. All of those benefits they can give to you because your social security number is registered. But some people don't file taxes and they're also not on any of those services. They don't have any of those benefits. So those are the ones that I think need to go in, fill out the little paperwork or the little online information, because it has their information, their social, their bank account number, so that the IRS will have that. Okay. Okay. There's another question about, whether you are going to receive one or not. Some people have not filed a federal tax return for 2018 or 2019, and they don't receive Social Security, retirement, or any other federal benefits like VA, etc. So they want to know, what do they do to get a payment? Well, you have to provide the basic information to the IRS in order to receive your payment. So they suggest that you go on the irs.gov website and you can use the non-filers to enter your payment information there. That's a tool they have on there, and it's just simple information for the IRS so that you can get your payment. Okay, U.S. citizens and permanent residents can use that tool too. Married couples can use this. You know, some people don't make a lot of money. Some people maybe worked part of the year and didn't work, very much, or maybe they only worked part time. Something, any kind of situation could have come up where they didn't make enough money, so they just didn't file. Okay. How about, if I did not file a tax return for 2018, how do I know if I am required to file a tax return? Usually the IRS will send you a notice and say, hey, you haven't filed, you need to file. Okay. So they also have on the website a little place where you can say, do I need to file a tax return? If you see that, then you go ahead and click on that and you go ahead and file if you need to. Here we go. Who should not use non-filers enter payment information? You should not use the non-filers enter payment information here tool if any of the following apply. If you already filed a 2019 tax return, if you already received your payment based on your 2018-2019 return, and even if you didn't receive the full amount uh, because of whatever situation, you still don't need to go to the non-filers and enter your payment information there. Okay, someone could claim you as a dependent on their 2019 tax return. So if someone is claiming you as a dependent on their return, don't file, because there's no need to, because they already did it, it filed you basically. If you're married but will not be using the tool with your spouse, you must file a 2019 and 18 return, okay, to receive your payment separate from your spouse. Okay, some people file separately. That's fine. But a married couple gets 2,400. Separately, you're going to get the same amount. He's going to get 12, you're going to get 12. Same thing. Okay. If you weren't a U.S. citizen or U.S. permanent resident, green card holder in 2019, those who were resident aliens in 2019 because they satisfied the substantial presence test and qualify for the payment must file a tax return to receive payment. Okay, let's see. What else we got here? Some people feel like they need to go see a tax professional or some type of local community organization that helps you fill out the taxes. But basically, they need help with it. And they want to know how long the payment is available. It says payments will be made throughout the rest of 2020. If you don't receive a payment this year, you can also claim it filing a tax return for the 2020 next year. Um, what I'm getting out of that is it could take all of the rest of this year to get to everybody. There are billions of people that are going to be getting this, millions at the very least. And because they have to take care of everyone and they're trying to get everybody in the system, et cetera, it's going to take time. So if you haven't received one yet, just be patient. Okay, here. Will the IRS contact me about my payment? No, they're not. They're not going to contact you about your payment. Okay. You can go on the website, irs.gov, and you can try to find out what you can about it there. Why I haven't received it, or do I need to do anything further? Do I need to fill out anything in order to get it? All that information is right here on the irs.gov website. That is where I am actually reading from. Okay. Uh, I know sometimes it's kind of hard to find this information, which is why I'm actually going through it. I think that it's a big help to people to have someone else just kind of spell it out verbally in order to understand it a little better. What is the amount of payment I will receive? Again, an individual will get 1,200. If you qualify, you'll get the 1,200, or a joint return will get 2,400, and an additional payment of 500 for each qualifying child. Okay. Um, if the child was under 17, you will get one. 17 and over, I do not think get anything. Okay. If you claimed a child as a dependent on your tax return, your son, your daughter, you know, foster child, stepbrother, stepsister, blase, blase, you have to meet the requirements. And they have them here. You have to be a U.S. citizen or resident alien. Okay, so all of those things are here. Okay, what is the amount of payment if I haven't filed a tax return? Your amount of payment is going to still be the same, 1,200 for those who meet the requirements. I believe there is an amount. I believe there is an amount. Okay, I think that's going to be the next question. So it's going to be 1,200 again, 24 for couple, and 500 for children, each child that qualifies. Will my payment be reduced if my income is too little or too much? Okay. Eligible individuals do not need to meet a minimum income for the payment. So you're still going to get it. It doesn't matter if you just made a little bit. If you filed for that $400 you made in 2018 or 2019, you're still going to get it. You're still going to get it. Okay. Um, it says if you make over a certain amount, and it seems like the threshold may be 208,000. Okay, then I think they start reducing the amount that you get. Okay, so it says 1,200 payments are eligible for eligible individuals with no qualifying children. 2,400 for married couples filing a joint return will be reduced to zero once adjusted gross income reaches the following thresholds. Okay, so they're going to drop it once you reach 198,000 for joint return, 136.5 for taxpayers filing as head of household. As an individual, then you can only reach 136,000. So long as you got 135,000 or 136,499, you get it. But 136.5, you don't. And 99,000 for others. I don't know what the others are. Okay. So there are thresholds of making a maximum amount, but not the minimum. Okay. Okay. I file a joint return with my spouse. We will receive a payment if I have a valid social security number and my spouse has an IRS individual taxpayer ID number. No. When your spouse files jointly, both spouses must have valid social security numbers to receive a payment, with one exception. If the spouse is a member of the U.S. Armed Forces at any time during the tax payable year, only one spouse needs to have a valid social security number. Okay? Other than that, no, you're not going to get anything. So you both have to have a social security number, or one has to be in the armed forces. Okay, but you can file separately. Okay, the one without the social security number will not get anything. That's our social security number. Okay, so what is meant by a valid social security required for a payment? Um, when you have a social security number, that means you can work in the U.S. basically. You can do whatever other people do. You can file your tax returns. You can work. You can do blase blase. Um, and that's what your Social Security does. You have to have a valid number from the Social Security Administration. Okay, that's what they mean by having a valid Social Security number, not something that's temporary. Okay, not a work only authorization. You need a Social Security card with your social on it. Okay. If a child is born, adopted, or placed into foster care in 2020, a qualifying child for um, is the child qualifying, okay, for a payment. You can claim the child next year on the 2020 return because the child you said was born in 2020, okay, or adopted or placed in foster care, okay. I received an additional 500 payment in 2020 for my qualifying child. However, he just turned 17. Will I have to pay the $500 back? No. So don't worry about that. If they just turned 17 this year, don't worry about it. Okay, because this is going on what you filed in 2018, 2019. Not this year. This year is a whole ball game. Okay, a whole new ball game. Okay. I claimed my child as a dependent on my 2019 tax return. She is graduating from school in 2020. No, your child will not receive a payment in 2020 because you claimed her as a dependent on your 2019 tax return. She will not receive 1200. She will not receive the 1200 credit in 2020 if you claim her as a dependent on your 2020 tax return. However, if your child can't be claimed as a dependent by you or anyone else in 2020, she may be eligible to claim 1200 credit on her 2020 tax return that she files for next year. So basically, if your child goes to work or whatever the child does, and you're not taking care of her no more and you're not going to claim her, then yes, she can claim herself and get that $1,200 for herself. Okay. I claimed my mom as a dependent on my 2019 tax return. Will I receive an additional payment for her or will she receive her own payment? No. Again, that goes back to the you got a disabled mama and you're taking care of her. She lives with you. No, you're not getting anything for her and she's not getting anything for herself. Okay. Is the payment includable in my gross income? No, it is not. It is not included in your gross income. Okay. Therefore, you will not include the payment in your taxable income on your federal income tax return for next year. Okay. If you owe taxes to the government, okay, it doesn't it, your payment will not be reduced, and I don't think it's going to offset it either. Okay. So it says I owe taxes or have a payment agreement with the IRS or owe other federal or state debts. Will my payment be reduced as an offset? No, it will not, with one exception. The payment will be offset by a past due child support. The Bureau of Fiscal Service will send you a notice if this offset occurs. So if you owe child support, all my lovely, sexy friends and family, you're not getting a check because you owe child support. That is the one exception. The one exception. That's terrible. I'm sorry, but hey, gotta take care of your children. Okay. How will the IRS know where to send my payment? Because if you receive direct deposit when you filed your taxes, that's where your money's going to go. If you're on Social Security, disability, survivor benefits, VA, railroad, whatever it is, and your money goes directly into the bank, that's where your $1,200 will be. Okay. If you um, if you had if you just, let's say, had your stuff coming to the house, your check came to the house, and you had to go into the bank and cash your check all the time, then your check will come in the mail. Okay, but again, the thing about this is everything's not coming right away. Boom, boom, right here, right now. It's not happening. Okay, just know that. Okay, it could take a couple of months. It could go through the summer, or it may maybe they'll finish paying everybody by the end of the year. But you can also go online to irs.gov and you can check there and you can see, hey, am I going to receive it? There is a way you can go on there and you can check, okay? So you just go on there and check. All right. What if your bank account number is no longer active? Can I switch and be mailed a payment? If the account is closed and no longer active, the bank will reject the deposit and you will be issued a check that will be mailed to the address they have on file for you. So it's going to take longer to get your money because if your check is already closed, they're going to mail it to the address they have on file. They can't get it to the bank. The bank's going to send it back. Then they're going to, all this turnaround is going to take time. So it's going to take time for them to mail it back to you. Okay? So you don't need to call the IRS and ask them about it. You don't need to change your payment information. This has already all started, so there's no need to go on and say, oh, well, hey, let me change my address. No need. Okay? Okay. So I filed in 2019 and I didn't provide bank information. They want to know if you didn't provide any bank information, can you go on and use the tool to provide your banking information? It says no. You cannot use the non-filers payment info there because you already filed your 2019. So you'll probably just get that in the mail. Okay. Here it says you can use the Get My Payment tool to provide your banking information or learn the status of your payment. Okay, so there is on the irs.gov, there is something that says Get My Payment. It's another tool. You go on there and you can provide your banking information and you can also determine whether you're going to get a payment or not. Okay, again, Get My Payment. Okay. How do I find the bank account information the IRS needs? Usually, to find your bank account information, you can look at the bottom of a check or savings slip, that goes into your savings account. If not, then you can usually go online. If you have your online banking, you can go online and pull up one of your statements. And on your statement, use at the top or the bottom, it'll have your routing number and it will have your account number. Okay? And if you don't have a bank account, then it's going to be sent to an address, a home address, or whatever address they have on file for you. Okay? If your address is different, then it's going to be rerouted again. You should be able to go on again to the Get My Payment, and maybe you can put in a new address there or whatever information that you need to put there. Okay. I requested a direct deposit of my payment. Why are you mailing it to me as a check? It's possible we do not have the correct bank account information. Okay, so maybe they don't have the right bank information for you, so they mail it. They're going to get it to you the best way that they can. Okay. U.S. citizens living abroad, yes, they will still receive their payments. Okay. Anyone eligible to file Form 1040 or 1040R is eligible person, and they also have a valid Social Security number. And as long as they can't be claimed by anyone else, yes, they will still receive it if they live in abroad. If they are living abroad. If I live in Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, America, Samoa, Guam, or the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Island, will I get a payment? In many cases, the answer is yes, but special rules in the law apply to the 5 U.S. territories or possessions, they call them. Tax authorities in each territory will make payments to eligible residents. People in these territories with questions about the payment should contact the local tax authority. Okay. And again, we discussed that if you're not a U.S. citizen or permanent resident, you will not get one. Okay. So that is all that I have on the stimulus payment for now. If you have any questions or comments, please post them and I can try to answer them, in a few days or in a week or so. Or I'll try to find out some answers and get some answers for you. I can't tell you if you're going to get one or not, but I will answer any questions relating to that I can. Okay? Hey friends, I was reading in Forbes and it says the Emergency Money for People Act will provide monthly payments up to $5,500 for families with children, $4,000 for a married couple, and $2,000 for individual. This will only happen if the proposed legislation gets approved by Congress. Okay? So, every American age 16 and older making less than 130,000 annually will receive at least 2,000 a month. Married couples earning less than 260,000 would receive at least 4,000 a month. Qualifying families with children will receive an additional 500 per child for up to 3 children. Okay. Um, those who had no earnings, were unemployed, or are currently unemployed will also be eligible. You heard that. The Emergency Money for the People Act also expands the program to millions more Americans who are excluded from the CARES cash rebates, such as college students and adults with disabilities who are still claimed as a dependent. The individual will receive the payment and their parent or guardian will receive the dependent credit. Okay? So, let's hope and pray that this gets passed. I said they think the two key people in this on this proposal are Tim Ryan, Ohio, and Ro Khanna, California. So let's hope and let's pray that these advocates get this proposal through.